Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It is Monday, December 9th, and it is 1:43 p.m. here in Chicago. I was just looking at the weigh-in with Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, and it was on Fight Hype, and they showed where the speaker, the announcer, he was like, all right, when I say DC, I want y'all to, yell DC. If I say Baltimore, I want you to yell Baltimore. And you could hear a couple of people in the crowd saying, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I thought that was hilarious because if you know, the relationship between DC and Baltimore, they're not always the best of friends. Sometimes there can be a little bit of tussle between the two, but they definitely don't want things to get ugly because, between DC and Baltimore, not just East Baltimore either, if things were to get ugly, it could get pretty bad. And so they always manage, even though they have their differences, DC and Baltimore, they always manage to kind of keep it cool, So I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious when the announcer tried to make, even though he was trying to be friendly, he wasn't trying to make it, negative. He was still trying to make a DC versus Baltimore, and you heard some people in the crowd saying, don't do that, don't do that. I thought that was funny. But, yeah, don't do that. But, I guess everybody's going to watch the fight, whether or not we agree with the fight, whether or not we think it's a cherry pick. I do understand people saying, he's getting the people around his way paid. And I totally get it. All the boxers who are bringing, well, not all, because I don't think Floyd ever did it. But some of the boxers who bring a lot of money to the sport, they, it's good to see them do that, and, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I do think it's a cherry pick, but if you are going to cherry pick, pay your people, because if you really want to go there, I always thought a lot of those, other people Tank fought was putting money in their pockets and they didn't deserve it. I personally never thought Pitbull Cruz deserved it. And look at the hype he got behind fighting Tank. So it's not like Lamont Roach is going to be the first one. So I am happy to see, him put money in Lamont Roach's pocket and keep the money, in DC or Baltimore, whatever. He did the same thing with Frank Martin, even though Tank kept telling him he was not from Detroit. Tank, mind your business. If the man says he's from Detroit, he's from Detroit. But, yeah, so I think it's cool, even though I can't lie to you. I do think it's going to be easy work for Tank. I hope it is a challenge for Tank. I hope it is, because I think that could only help both of them. I hope it's a challenge for Tank, but I don't know. Tank's getting better and better to me. Shit. And probably getting more and more powerful, too. So, let me go ahead and make a prediction. Lamont Roach is going to get stomped like a roach in round... You know what? I think Tank can get him as early as round 4. But I think Tank is going to give people a little bit of a show. And so I think Tank is going to let it go until around maybe round 7. But remember, whatever round Tank gets Lamont Roach out of there, just keep in mind it could have been sooner. Tank is going to want to give a little bit of a show, but he's not going to want to take the fight too late, because then he knows he'd get criticism. Well, look how long it took you to get a 130-pound fighter out of there. It took you 11 rounds or it took you 10 rounds. So he's not going to let it go too late just for the sake of giving people a show. But for the sake of giving people a show, I think Tank's going to give us about 7 rounds. That's a damn shame when you got to refer to the opponent like that. But, I mean, I'm just being honest. Lamont Roach can't beat Tank. And Lamont Roach is a 130-pound fighter. So Tank's gonna give people their money's worth and let it go to round 7. Okay, so that's my prediction. I think Tank could get him out of there actually much earlier. But tell me what you think, all right? Have a good day.